On this episode of Boating Newbies, we get into our first big accident and cause a ton of damage to the boat. Keep watching to find out what happened and how we're going to deal with it. Today is a sad day, my friends. I'm currently on the way to the wreck and launch to go look at the damage. So unfortunately, we got caught out in a storm yesterday, and when I checked the forecast, I've been checking the forecast over and over and over again every single day leading up to this to figure out what was going to be the best day to go out during the Labor Day weekend. Turns out that it was going to be around 82 degrees, perfect skies yesterday. So that's when we went out. And we went out, it was a beautiful day, we had a lot of fun. We actually put the cameras down and took a little bit of time to enjoy it. And out of nowhere, a storm comes. And the thing is, we saw it coming, and we packed up everything and we left just in time, and we got back to the dock, and everything would have been perfect if it weren't for the fact that there was a huge line of other people trying to get in at the same time. So, you know, Labor Day weekend, everybody's out on their boat and everyone's having a great time. This storm comes in, now everybody wants to get back, right? Everybody wants to get out of the water because it's going to rain, storm, thunder, lightning, all that stuff. So unfortunately, while we're sitting in this line, we're close to this line of slips that have these little cement and steel pillars. And I'll show you in a picture while I'm talking about this. You can see it's a straight beeline to the place where you get your boat picked up by the wreck and launch. So we were waiting in this area, and slowly but surely the wind was pushing us into these pillars, and it got to the point where we didn't have enough control over the boat to be able to get out of the situation. So we banged into those pillars about 4 different times while moving forward, and while the wind was carrying us. It took me about 15 seconds to regain control of the boat and get it out of the situation, but within that time a lot of damage was already done. So I'm currently driving to the wreck and launch right now to assess the damage and see what we're going to need to do to fix everything that went wrong. All right, so here we are. Take a look at this. Quite a bit of damage here, down to the fiberglass. And a pretty big gouge right there in the gel coat. There's a bunch of marks all over the rub rail, which is fine. But the biggest one is this crack right here. And it's a lot of scratches right here. And this is actually starting to flake off a little bit. So that's gonna be some major repairs there. Got another little ding here. And some scratching right here as well. This one's like a little more surface level. It's not as bad. This one is definitely pretty deep, about a 1/4 inch deep, or about an 1/8 inch deep or so. And then from this small one here, there's actually another scratch that's sort of starting to crack the gel coat, and it goes a little deep kind of into the fiberglass. So, but yeah, we have to get this fixed before we can go back out. Then we had a little bit of scratching and rubbing here on the swim platform against the railing, and some spider cracks from the impact here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk out here to show you where this actually happened and why. So this is the area where the boats come in and out from the wreck and launch. It's right in front, and you can see there's pretty much a straight line right here. So we were coming in here and there were several boats over here. This was all packed up from the storm. forklift was pulling them out as fast as they could. So we were waiting in line, and as we waited, the wind and the current pushed us this way into these rails here. And so these are the pillars that we rubbed up against and scratched. And you can see there's several of them coming in. And so the wind was just blowing us this way towards these pillars, and there was nothing we could really do to get away from them. You can see there's like a lot of rust on there. And so the boat was just pushing and hugging this, the wind and the current pushing us in. And so even if we tried to turn away from these, the back end would have hit these. So it was kind of like just being stuck. All I could do is really just give it a little bit of throttle every couple of seconds and try to like push off of it. So when we were coming in, the rain was beating down on us, and so we put these up. And since these were up, my visibility was limited. Plus I had two passengers, Kristen and her mom, were in the boat, so I couldn't really see how close to the pillars I was. And so then we hit here first, and as I was trying to move away, I got these two scratches happened. So it's bound to happen when you're a new boater, because you're learning how to control it, and you're not always in the same circumstances every time you're out driving the boat. So when you're in a new circumstance, you just have to figure it out, and we learned the hard way. So the guys over here at the Rack and Launch gave me a referral for a guy to fix this. His name is Mickey, and Mickey's coming over to check it out right now and see what we're gonna do here to get this thing fixed. After Mickey came to check out the boat, I took a little break, went down the street to Jim's Galley to get a little bit of pizza and some food and refuel for the rest of the day.
Could be entitled to significant cash compensation. A recent jury verdict awarded $2 million involving claims against Monsanto's Roundup weed killer. Call our weed killer cancer hotline.
Not bad. This looks pretty good. Got a Supreme, just got basically everything on it. Tastes really good. So I'm also here fixing a couple oddball things on the boat. And I noticed when I opened this door here below the wet bar, just behind the helm here, it's completely dark in here. And I found there was a light right there. I pulled the bulb out, and it looks like this. It's almost like a milky white on the inside, which is really weird. So I'm replacing it with one of the bulbs that I got to originally replace the restroom bulb. I got this one. I'm gonna pop it in. So, boom. Easy fix. Also, if you look real closely, you'll see there's a bunch of tiny little mosquitoes all over this icing glass here. They came out when the rain started to hit, and they just wanted to get away from the rain, so they came in the boat and stuck to this, and they all died. So gotta clean that off, because after I do that, I'm gonna take this back and fix some of the zippers on here. You can see we've had some issues here zipping this in a hurry, and just kind of came off and then thread it off of here. So I'm gonna get that sewn back on, and hopefully it'll zip up better right here. The one part I won't be able to fix today or anytime soon is this one, which is starting to come off from the canvas. So you gotta be careful with these. They're not indestructible. That's all for this episode of Boating Newbies. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to find out what happens next on our journey to becoming great boaters. Bye!